Welcome to Wisdom in Motion. I am Takesha Bromell, and I'm super excited to have you here with me. I've been thinking a lot about the early days of my business, not with regret, but with clarity. There's a version of business culture that tells you to just jump. Jump before you're ready, jump before you know how to fly. And if I'm being honest, my jump probably came a little too soon. I might have needed to stay in that 9 to 5 just a bit longer. But I jumped anyway. And God was faithful, even as I bumped my head around learning how to really do business. I mean, honestly, here. As the business started to grow, someone handed me a book to read, and it was The E Myth. It changed my life. And I won't give you all the details. You should read it for yourself. But the story is about a woman who's exhausted because she's everything in her business: front office, back office, the one actually making the product, which was a pie business. And as I read it, I had to face a daunting truth. I was her. What the book gave me more than strategies was permission to think differently, permission to imagine a team. And when I started building that team, I felt two things at the same time. I exhaled with excitement and I trembled with fear because the question became very real very fast. How in the world was I going to pay these people? It felt like I felt like Noah building the ark. I didn't go looking for people. They started finding me. Team members showed up, talent appeared, and I knew that this was God. But here's the part people don't always talk about. I didn't have the right business model yet. I didn't have enough margin. Every single week, paying my team was painful. Oh, so painful. Sometimes it was Friday before I got paid by my clients. So that could pay the people who were depending on me. My clients weren't paying on time, and I was holding my breath week after week, suffering quietly with the fear of not enough. The pressure sits differently when people are counting on you, I will tell you that. And then there was a breaking point. One Friday, I reached my limit. I called my pastor. I was planning to ask him to let me borrow money just for a day so I could make payroll. The money was coming. I just needed one more day. But he didn't answer. And there I was, alone with God. No backup plan. No one to rescue me. Just honesty and I don't know. And in that moment, God stepped in. Two things happened. First, the client did pay, so payroll was made. But second, and this is the part that changed everything, God gave me wisdom. Not a miracle that disappeared the problem, but insight that stabilized it. He showed me something practical. Instead of paying everyone on the same schedule and needing all the money at once, he showed me how to split payroll and to balance it out, to create sustainability instead of survival. It wasn't dramatic, it wasn't flashy, but it was wise. And it worked. Oh my gosh. I'm getting nostalgic thinking about it right now. A few hours later, my pastor called back and I told him what God had shown me. And he was excited for me. He prayed with me, not just for provision, but that God would always be my guide, that wisdom would lead me. There's a scripture that grounds me to this day about God using what looks foolish to confound the wise. And I've learned something from that season when I was at my lowest, when I had no one to give me a tangible next step. God didn't just comfort me, He instructed me. And that wisdom has stood the test of time. Even today, 6 years later, I still use that principle. That season taught me something I'll carry with me now. Faith doesn't remove responsibility, but it does provide direction. Wisdom isn't abstract, it's lived. And when I stopped asking God to simply fix things and started asking Him to guide me, everything began to change. That's why wisdom isn't optional for me anymore. It's foundational. Wisdom, a la wisdom in motion, right? This is the bittersweet side of business: growth and fear, faith and pressure, provision and responsibility. And it's where my pursuit of wisdom truly began. In the next conversation, I want to talk about the kind of wisdom that carried me through that season and why it became foundational for how I lead and live. This is Takesha Bromell with Wisdom in Motion. I'm looking forward to talking to you next week. See you soon. Bye.